Okay, stand by, leader. 3, 2, 1. It's coming. Okay, wait for it. It's promising. I think we're going to keep away as the co-host.
Yes.
Okay.
Afraid.
3, 2, 1, and start.
Greetings to the MTM. Special greetings to the president of the Swaziland Liberation Movement and the Leadership Collective, and special greetings once again to the president of the Youth Command Unit and his Leadership Collective. Zivusele Swaziland Democratic News, thank you for awarding us the opportunity to ukukhuluma indaba leti affecta national, and I would like to thank our facilitator for joining us in namuhla, Bongosi Ndlangamandla from prevention officer from SWACA, Pinza futhi abe co-chair Men Engage Africa, a former member of the Men Engage African Steering C9 committee member and empowerment defense lead instructor, trainer, and certified by ESC Global. Currently, he is the national coordinator of Men Engage Eswatini. It is indeed a privilege for us as the MTM, as Swaziland Liberation Movement Youth Command Unit, ukuthi sibe naleli thuba lokuthi si engage with people abane vast knowledge on inzaba yema gender minorities and patriarchy nje bakhulumisa tindzaba leti njengaleti. Namuhla utababuka topic lekhuluma ukuthi the minority emancipation and how to end patriarchy in the country. As I am the moderator, Namtalong Secretary General, with Swaziland Liberation Movement Youth Command Unit, Comrade Vilagati Top Dog, I will be assisting him alongside Comrade Moloi. We will facilitate this topic to the Swazi nation at large. Those who wish on the Zoom site, they will simply raise a hand or write in my comment section so that we can be able to pose the questions. Guye Comrade Bongos Ndlangamandla akhona assista, and Comrade Moloi will be taking over ngalega Facebook and other platforms. Akhona kuthatha imibuto after a presentation later by a maximum of 50 minutes. So we really appreciate to have a leader of your caliber and a man of your caliber, Mr. Ndlangamandla, who has taken the initiative yokuthi afune kufundisa people of Swaziland and even in the democratic space the importance of emancipate minorities and how can we end patriarchy in the country, because we know and history has proven patriarchy is something that is happening in the country and it is ongoing and it is affecting us as people of the country. The only way we can do is to learn on how to prevent and how to end such things, because atitsingegi in the life lesibukayo in the future. So let me take this opportunity to give Mr. Ndlangamandla an opportunity yokuthi facilitate on the topic. The floor is yours, Mr. Ndlangamandla. You can take over. We will be here to assist you wherever utsingal sito. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Pepete. Ngibongelele kuwe, ngibingelele Mr. Moloi, ngibingelele kibo bonke labasibukelako ngale ka Southern Democratic News. Ngibingelele nakiyo yonke i-leadership lekhona nangalana ka Zoom. Ngithanda ukubonga lethuba lelinginikete lona colleagues. It's such a privilege for me ukuthi beninganginiketa lethuba lokuthi ngibuye ngito facilitator akusiko ukuthi kumbe kungoba ngathi kakhulu yini just umusa leningandele wona colleagues. And thank you so much colleagues lo ngithanda kudumisa ukuthi nitinikete isikhathi sekufuna kwati and also to find ways on how can we get rid of lesihlava lesingagcina sithi noba ngabe siyayi-achieve a democracy without taking into consideration such pertinent issues can result in us not celebrating the real fruits of our struggle. So now, on these two topics, these are very broad topics. What I'm going to do, I will just be presenting an overview of these topics and also in a more informative manner, so that at the end of the day, we have something. And more than anything, in all my sessions, I normally say, for me, it's not about enriching people with knowledge, but it's about challenging people to take a stand and also to take an action and also do something to change the status quo, because having a lot of knowledge without doing anything is is as if you don't know anything. So it's so much important, colleagues, ukuthi kube khona lesikwendako. Maybe angicale kanjena ukuthi we need to understand ukuthi kahle kahle masikhuluma ngendaba ukuthi umuntu uku-minority group sisuke sisho ini. Uma ngabe sikhuluma nge-minority groups sisuke sisho ukuthi bantu thite ba systematically excluded ukuthi ba benefit etintweni lekumele ngabe ba benefit aketho. And that can be as a discrimination or nobe le exclusion can come as a result of their race. It may come as the result of identity. It may come as a result of the gender. It may come as a result of ukuthi kulamanye amave kuba ukuthi i-tribe thite kuchamuke kungukuthi kumbe bani unemali bani ude imali. And also kuyachamuka even in terms of ukuthi are you bodily able or you are able differently. So those are some of the various elements that then present one where ukuthi angaze atikhanze ase kubeni ukuthi agcine discriminated from benefiting etintfweni kumele abenefite kito ngenxa yokuthi maybe group le considered of less power within that particular setting. So now, in the context of Eswatini, we do have just because Swaziland is more of a patriarchal country, we have with a high note women finding themselves minority groups and because they find themselves vulnerable. And also on other level, we've got the LGBTI community. They find themselves as a minority group because they are systematically excluded from benefiting from what they need to benefit as human beings. And also we've got people living with persons with disabilities. nabo bayatikhanza within the minority groups because based on their conditions, the conditions they find themselves in, they bagcina seba ngenxa yokuthi baphila baphila nokukhubateka batikhanza seba excluded kwekuthi ba benefit etinfanele kumele ngabe ba benefit akiyo just because bangemaswati nabo. In some quarter is different angle as well. Uyakhanza ukuthi nebantfwana futhi bayatikhanza ba vulnerable at a certain degree bakhanza bangema minority, and also even in terms of mabe sesibuka kwekuthi based on the economy ye live lakangwane singasho futhi nokuthi nebantfu labasha as ma percentage lasetulu ayazivetela kwekuthi bantfu labasha baku high poverty stricken, losho ukuthi unemployment rate kubantfu labasha evela kangwane isetulu, and loko sikubona ngekuthi you will find ukuthi kutawuchamuka yes livela kangwane lithi retirement age ngu 60 years but utawukhanza make nobe babe lomdzala lona ngana 70 years atshela abantu labasha ukuthi kude imisebenzi but already yena solo semsebenzini ovile nga 10 years esigabeni sakhe sokuthi ngabe usolo usasebenza. So actually lo muntu lona akakho lapha emsebenzini ngokuthi ya deserve yini, sekuwukuthi ukule group le within the community society lena lenemandla lekhona ku benefita hayi ngoba ibenefita ngoba ifanele yini. So those are some of the things that tends to be at play uma ngabe sikhuluma with the issues of being minority groups. And also one other critical thing that we need to understand is that there are so much diversities even around amongst the minority groups. I'll make an example. Even within women, there is so much diversity. Nagibo, even in terms of their minority status, it's not the same. Magelo sebendago na magelo ngasebendi, their minority status is not the same. Magelo sezindwendweni ngalavumisa na magelo se lohlala kumadonsa, their minority status is not the same, and their needs, they vary from each other. Even within the LGBTI community, you know, there are certain groupings within the LGBTI community that are more vulnerable than the other. And then when we go to the persons with disabilities, you know, those are very critical. It is very critical to understand that even within them, there are degree of being vulnerable is
Leader, yakhatheka. We are losing you.
Ngicabanga ukuthi umholi
Hello,
wami
Ndungwa.
unesimo network yakhe mhlambe ayisiyo le kahle, sithi ambeketelela nje kafishane asazama kulungisa network yakhe. Sawubona sekabuyile kahle. Ngicabanga ukuthi network ingileso simo lesi.
I'm touching on that one because we want to talk emancipation.
Sorry leader, uke walahleka a bit ugcine ukhuluma ngema disabilities. Can you please maybe ubuyela mva a bit so that we can be able to trace you, man? Same Kipile, Comrade Moloy, angisamboni la. Ngathi akasekho later. I think ustructuration network. Angathi Mholi, if there's anything you wanna add.
All right, maybe for the sake ukuthi sikulo mhlangano lomkhulu lapho khona kukhulunyiswa leti ndzaba talama minority groups Mholi. Sisasemgadzile nje ke sitawufuna lokuthi ke kwabe kasazama lokuchaza leti ngoni mhlambe nalabo ma groups lehlukahlukene lokuthiwa ngema minorities ekakhulu ukuthi emaswati atocaciseka ukuthi uma sithi sikhuluma ngema minority groups sikhuluma ngani empeleni kuze kuthi atokhona kucaciseleka kusasa uma sesithi nabo labo laba belonga kulama minority groups babantu nabo futhi banawo emalungelo nokuthi ke sisala kulomzabalazo masipheze batepolitiki sithi sisakhuluma sishaya imithetho nema policies siwabuke lama policies esiwabekako nalemithetho esishaya ukuthi iyaba include le mithetho yethu i-inclusive yini ayiba khipheli ngaphandle noma iba overlook labo bantu labo Mholi wami.
Sorry to disturb you, leader. Sorry Mholi. Ngathi so ubuyile Mholi ngathi if you can sum up then you will take over. Ngathi the network sembuyisile.
Yebo Mholi wami siyabonga kakhulu ukuthi sewuphinze ubile siqosa kakhulu maswathi lamahle niyathi ku service swatini kuba ngisosimo leso kodwa nje ngicabanga ukuthi bengimendulela nje lokuthi ufuna lokucacisa kabandi asa break down lama groups ema minorities ukuthi aye ahlukane ungakhaza sungabeka sibomake ukhaza sinabo make kwanabo kuleti ingoni tabo baphinze babuye behlukane ngetigaba tabo njengoba bekasho ukuthi kunabo make labaphila in the rural areas kunalabo labaphila in the urban areas kanjalo behlukene bakhona abafundzile bakhona abangakafunzi utachaza Mholi wami ngendlela bekachaza ngaye. Over to you leader Bonkosi Dlakamani.
Thank you so much Mholi ngixolisa kakhulu emaswatini network ingikhiphile so bengisaveta ke comrades ukuthi uma ngabe sikhuluma ngendzaba ukuthi we want to emancipate the minority community, we need to understand even those dynamics ukuthi ayehlukana. So now uma ngabe sithi ke sisikhuluma indzaba emancipation, we need to understand that in order for emancipation to take place, there must be an enabling environment, of which we need to understand there is a need to create an enabling environment. I don't want us to think of creating an enabling environment as if there must be messiahs or there must be people who will go out and move mountains for these communities to find themselves emancipated. But by creating environment, an enabling environment, as understand ukuthi yini lena lebabeke kulesigaba sekwekuthi bathi khanze bangema minority groups. Kulokhulu kulokunye nalokunye lokulidako etintweni etenda ukuthi bathi khanze bakuma minority groups. In a number of issues, the common denominator human beings. Labantu labati khanza baku advantage side of society. Ukhanza kwekuthi ngibo lababeka le impilo yalaba labanye engodini. Kugcineke sekubenda kwekuthi bathi khanze bayi minority. So by creating an enabling environment, isho kwekuthi wena loku advantage position and lo presenta impilo yalabanye ibe vulnerable, you need to change. Because with all honesty, comrades, women do not need someone who will act as a protector, because in most cases they find themselves vulnerable because another human being has decided to be dangerous to them. So if ever the other human being can decide to change from being dangerous, then it will make bomake bathi khanze bangekho engodini. And within those diversities, labomake bathi khanze abakiyo. Same with the LGBTI community, because it's so unfortunate ukuthi nakibo it's not on a basis ukuthi kumbe kunenyoka lehambe ihlasela ukuthi itawuthi wena because you're a member of the LGBTI community seyitawuhamba icosha wonke lesiganga kude inyoka na. So they find means of surviving with the presence of different animals etingagcina tiyinkinga. However, the biggest threat is fellow human beings. And as human beings, we've decided to go to sifike lapho khona sesijatshana ngenfo lengekho ekuthenini iya-contributor kulo msebenzi lesiwendako or in any developmental issue of any society. And we've reached to a point whereby sifika si-discriminate to the extent wekuthi ngikhathateke kwekuthi umphephethe ingabe nzambama mangabe afika egumbini lakhe afisa ngekutijabulisa utijabulisa kanjani, kunokuthi ngikhathateke ukuthi uma ngabe sikhuluma indzaba ye-developer live umphephethe ithini contribution yakhe, because we limit this discrimination that exists and even on issues of minority groups. Ifika isende si-cloude lokwekuthi sibuke kwekuthi lo muntu lesikhuluma naye yini la ngayi-contribute to what we want to achieve. Si-concentrate ekuthenini yini la yentako mangabe safisa ukutijabulisa ngetelicansi kumbe nawo bangiphi indlela afisa ukutijabulisa ngayo. Sikhohlwe like ngiye ngithi lilanga lena 24 hours kodwa sikhohlwe konke le muntu angakwenda within the 24 hours, concentrate entweni la yenda in a share of an hour. So that's how this discriminatory acts are inconsiderable ngakhona. Asiko reasonable to the extent that you will spend the whole day, you can spend the whole day debating about what someone decide like when on a private, and like when they ngeke kwenteke nangalinye ilanga ukuthi sithi mangabe sidevelopa le live sithi hey asewusende nakulesihlala sikwenda le makoneni nethu ukuze talive tawuthuthuka kahle sikwende la public. Loku nje has got nothing to do. Whenever we're in a public space, let's talk about what development do we need to do. And normally if ever singabuka in other countries, you'll find that on the basis wekuthi babuke umuntu based wekuthi this is a human being and this is what this person stands to offer, and this is how as a society we are going to benefit from the contribution yalo muntu lona, but they moved with that. And some countries are holder MR records on the basis of wekuthi they moved beyond issues of identity, issues of sexual orientation, issues of being disabled or not, so those things are very critical. You'll find wekuthi sinebantu within the disabled community, persons with disability community. However, labo bantu labo abakhoni contributor development kwe-live. Asengendi example. ePhalamende kude lekubese sekuwentiwa kwekuthi kumbe badzinga ukuthi bahle bagidza ePhalamende. Lokusho ukuthi umuntu lohamba nge-wheelchair angangena ePhalamende akhulume ashaye umthetho and live elithuthuke. However, because kunaleyo systematic exclusion of persons with disabilities, abatikhanza abangakwati kungena ePhalamende. And because kuba nale systematic, even in terms of construction, you can't go ukuthi even in my offices, atakwakhiwa ngendlela lokuthi abakhoni labanye kuba yingcenye kufika lapho khona kubanjwe lowo mbuthano land ngobe there's a systematic exclusion of some members of the community. So even in terms of enabling and creating an enabling environment, utawufaka ekhathi noma ngabe sithi sakhe emahhovisi nobe wakhe i-building, make sure ukuthi that place or le ndlu loyakhayo lesakhiwo losakhako accessible to all members of society, more especially public spaces, public offices, service centers. Those spaces must be accessible to every member of the society. And even a systematic exclusion, kufaka ekhathi indzaba yokuthi certain places, certain areas kuthiwe luhlobo thite lwebantu akamele lona lingene khona. Kani leyo ndzawo leyo yindzawo lapho khona kuthi sive kumele sithole khona lusizo. So ensuring emancipation, we must make sure ukuthi lokho kuyendeka. So that talks to even issues of policy. We must be having policies lega deliberate where good inclusion iyendeka. Masithi abe deliberate kube kungukuthi sitawuqinisekisa kube nema-measures in place where kuthi manje ngimenywe iSwalimo ngidakhuluma on the space seSwalimo sekwekuthi within Swalimo sitawuba deliberate ukuthi how do we ensure participation yawo onke emaswati, because lana singemaswati. Uma ngabe sikhuluma ngebuholi beSwalimo, how do we ensure where good everyone we are contributor from all sectors of community, and sibeke ema-systems in place. Uma ngabe sikhuluma ngekuthi wonke umuntu unelungelo le-education, okay, sikhuluma ukuthi umuntu unelungelo le-education, tikolo tethu even lakangwane tingakhi letikhona kwekuthi bantu in their diversities labakhona even lakangwane bakhone kufinyelela kitu. Njengoba ngike ngaveta lokwekuthi even minority status, the vulnerability levels where bantu ayehlukana, noma ngabe ngivetile kwekuthi bantfwana even children nabo ba-vulnerable, but umntfwana losedolobheni akafani nemntfwana lole emakhaya. Uma ngabe sithi there is free primary education, kepha singathathi into consideration kwekuthi there is a girl child loya kuma-period le yena noba ungabhadala uhulumende abhadale kanganani noba abhadale in advance for the next 3 years lamele abe se-primary ngayo umntwana zacetha, but angaka-take into consideration kwekuthi fine soyile esikolweni, but the sanitary, the menstrual hygiene yakhe inakekeleke kanjani. Maybe lo sedolobheni angakhona ukuthi kumbe naye akusiyo kahle, but maybe angakhona ukuthi kumbe kube khona lo tathi amcele amuphe imali, but lona lo lemakhaya kwente kanjani. For that reason-ke kudzinga ukuthi mangabe sikhuluma even about ensuring that we have an enabling environment, there must be systems in place to meet the needs of the people. Ngale amadidingeko tabo. And then uma ngabe sikhuluma ngendzaba kwekuthi esikolweni maybe stawuthi hayi ke sesilungisile education system yethu tonke tikwa tinema-wheelchair ramp. What about nanglo ngaboni emehlweni? What measures are in place for yena? If ever angeke akhona kuya ku-mainstream school, how many schools do we have in the country that accommodates them? Ingabe how in terms of even knowing ukuthi bangakhi laba labatawudzinga such service and the services provider ingabe meet the needs, because partial support is same as no support, because these are human beings. If ever kukhona lositakele lomunye angasitakali, then the service is as good as not there, because ungeke kusitakala kwamunye does not help lona longasasitakalanga. So those are some of the things that we need to take into consideration. And also we need to ensure that we work around issues of law reforms, ensure that we get away with these discriminatory laws. And siqinisekise ukuthi those laws lend abantu present abantu babe more vulnerable, then we work and removing them, because working within this space that led me to understand where no matter how much you can advocate abantu on the ground, if ever we still have repressive laws, it does not help us the most, because you find that labantu batawufuna kungena into the conversation okay, but so long as kunalomcabo walomthetho longasiwo kahle towards ensuring ukuthi bonke abantu labakhona event babenefisa ngalokufanako, bese sekuba nenkinga. And then lokumcoka sengiyisama lena yaka minority emancipation, kungukuthi we need to understand kwekuthi lobeka ingodi impilo ya anyone otikhanza aku-minority group engodini akusito tilwane, my fellow human beings. So what is more critical is to ensure that uma ngabe wena utikhanza ukule group le-privileged, make sure that you change from being dangerous to the next community, to le group less privileged. Leni loko kutawusita ekuthenini nabo batikhanze baphila kahle, ngobe impilo yabo ayibhekwa kwekuthi kumbe batikhanze bakuphi, ibekwa kungukuthi kunebantu labadecide kubaphatha kabi nobe kuba discriminatory against them. And then now when we need to understand that lekuthi bantu bagcine classify under minority, nako ukuthi forms part of letinkinga lesilethelwa i-patriarchy bekunene. I-patriarchy, it's just a system let yona ithi bantu mbamba nobe bantu lekumele benefit kuma-resources, kumele babe kuma-systems of power, kumele bahlonipheke, kumele uma ngabe sekukhulume bona lo munye umuntu andize emoyeni. It's part the system of patriarchy bobabe. And mangabe ithi bobabe, ishelo lokwekuthi umuntu longasiye wesilisa batawunyatselana bodvwana kuze kujabule lona lohleti la esitulweni semandla sekuba bobabe. Lana ngikhulumela ekuthenini ine society, uma ngabe singakhuluma abantu labanemandla nje, mawubuka nje ukuthi mbando onemandla, you can easily tell ukuthi wo bobabe kule ndzawo lena ngibo labanemandla. I must say that we do have societies where kubomake laba lapha emandleni. We call those communities matriarchal or matriarchal communities or matriarchal societies. Such societies ayatholakala in Kenya. There is a community matriarchal, India, China, I think Malawi, if I'm not mistaken. Ikhona le community lena lankala matriarchal, wherein now go reverse lapho bomake laba in power. Bomake, even in terms of ukuthatha kwesithembu, bomake labathatha isithembu, and konke nje lama decisions endiwa ngilabo bomake. So now what is so critical to understand is that patriarchy uses women as custodian of the system. Ngisho ukuthini? Ngisho lokho kwekuthi for the system of patriarchy to exist, it strives through women. It's systematic. It was systematically designed for that. I will make an example. More especially in the African context, you'll find that children bakhula kakhulu in the presence of women. However, the outcome of most of the children is centered around the patriarchal principles. Even the teachings lawatfolako lo mfana kumake wakhe. Now I'm telling how to be a patriarchal man when you grow up. And also another point on that one is what makes men to enjoy the privilege of patriarchy. It's the enabling environment that they enjoy from women. Ganjan, you will maswati siyawati lama saying lati invotes alicatha kuyalonyiswana. That gives men the justification for them to have multiple concurrent partners. And also you find that we've got a lot of cases in the country wherein now utawuhamba i-invoter ithatha infobi yayo lenye ishiya umfati ngalani baleke infobi yethu ihlobeni tayo ifike amekeziswe loyo mfati loyo. And lapha ngeke ukhanze kumadvoda athi sibashiye balele bonza. No, these are fellow women. Bayamati futhi kwayena lo mfati wale ndvodza lemshiyele ngemuva babe baxoxa naye ka-WhatsApp, babe bamshuthela titfombe kodwa bachubeke bateke lona bahlekana lona. It's also within the same system a patriarchy wherein now uyawuthi umfati ashonelwe indvodza yakhe, labanye bafati bambonye nge-2-in-1 babe banjonta titatakhe ngemuva. It's within the system a patriarchy wherein now kuyawuthi kumbe makoti abikile ukuthi indvodza iyamhlupha makufika endlini kagogo, anti lokhalisa indvodza yakhe naye ngale tathi kucala ngayo umntwana abhuti kuganwa lana mngani masaganile bese baganiwe besiya kwala yini wena ngoba nawe solo uyachubeka lakha uyashintsha yini kuba ngumfati. So all those things, it's the system uses women wekuthi kutsintwe laba labanye bomake kupende bangakhoni kukholela kulomunye nalomunye, bangakhoni kusupportana for the benefit of men. Now sikhuluma sikuma elections. If ever ungabuta around, and maybe before sibuta around, the 11th parliament, only 2 women were voted for from out of 59 Letinkundla. And we know very well, masikhuluma nge-population ye-level akangwane, bantu besifazane banyende kunema-males. and of which lalaba ke laba vota, it goes without saying ukuthi bomake ngibo labavota kakhulu, but they voted for men. And utambuta yini ungamvotela omnye maka? Hayi sis, uthatha uyamvotela umuntu bese akho umgwaco lana pheka usidwalela ngalo mgwaco la wakhe every time. Ngamane ngivotela indvothi yoganwa leparliament. Then we have a problem ukuthi make utawuletha i-development lamangweni bese sikhumbuta ngayo ukuthi yena wenteni. Singamane sivotele indvodza letawuhamba ingavusendeli lutho lana ihambe iyohlala lenigano leparliament. Isikhumbule after 5 years seyiyabuya seyitawusilethela emasaka bo-Taiwan ema-rice la emangweni kuze kuthi siyivotele futhi. That's because of patriarchy. And also we need to understand lokho ukuthi le patriarchy asifundwa yona ebudzaleni, sifundwa yona kusukela ebuncaneni. The roles and responsibilities zaniketwa abafana nemantombazane sisukela sebancane. Lokho ukuthi ungumfana udlala ngani, it presents you ukuthi ku-adult life, how will you deal with things. Lokho ukuthi intombazana udlala ngani, that presents you with in idea ukuthi ebudzaleni utawukwenta njani. I will make an example. Mantombazana, umntwana oyintombazana udlala ngani? Udlala ibotayi, udlala inkendo, udlala insondo, udlala boshumpu, konke leto tintfo leto. All those games, you perform better if you do them as an individual. Insondlo utayi-enjoya kakhulu uma ngabe ukwati kuyingena ngisho nasensanyeni nobe kamngcondo, utayi-enjoya-ke wena kuyidlala. Idayi utawu-enjoya kakhulu uma ngabe ukhona lokuvika. Ningaba i-team bakudayi uhlale phansi ubukele lona lokwati kuvika akuvuse uphinde udayi uhlale phansi. So it says women, they are socialized to work as individuals. That's a system that was tailor-made to make sure that women do not support each other. It's for that reason namanje it is even hard for them to support each other. Let's talk about boy child. Boy child udlala ini yena? Udlala ibhola. Ibhola unoba ngabe kuyakho moloyi, utawuthatha le bhola uthi udlale bakudrebule udube uyithathe uhambe nayo. Mase ufuna ukuyidlala futhi utawuthatha phinde ubuyele kulabantu labo. But utabuya ne-strategy lesithi lona udrebule kakhulu utameta ethimini yakho but ube ngikapteni ungasubstitute wena, utawuchubeka udlale lapho. That says you cannot enjoy life as an individual. Egroundini lebhola kuna-goalkeeper, kunema-defenders, nema-midfielders, nema-strikers. As goalkeeper, you don't say uwinile ngobe kushaye wena ligoli. Uma ngabe ligoli lingena component post, short uwinile nawe. Umfana from a very tender age uyafunza ukuthi impilo is not always about you, because egroundini lebhola kunema-reserves. Siyakhesha scheme. Masikheshile scheme asisho ukuthi wena awusesiyo ingxenye yale team. That's why ukhanza bagcina sebacoacha bona kanye nale coach lapha ngephandle. Because bayibona le game from outside. Umfana from a very tender age ufunza kulalela ipeer yakhe because egroundini kuna captain. So all those things present the society yethu with a huge gap between bomake nabobaba. That is because of patriarchy. It's for that reason. Utabalkhuni ukuthi manje nje siya December Pepet. Masiya December utawubona. Sisetawubona nje emaphepheni mgcini sikhwama westokfeli sabomake sowuculekile imali idlekile. And leyo mali leyo hayi ukuthi bekayikula 20,000 imali eshodayo. Hayi kodwa ukuthi bekadla 20,000. Leyo mali leyo bekayithatha ku-60 rand yothenga lamthuthu, 60 rand uthenga lamthuthu. So waphila ngalamthuthu leli, soludla lamthuthu. Mangathi uyayihlanisa le mali seyifika ku-20,000. And-ke kude lento la ngayi-accountela ukuthi yini la ithengile. And that it's because i-socialization yethu ku-childhood yena yamtshela ukuthi I can do better as an individual. I don't think about something within a collective. ngicabanga as an individual. So now to get rid of patriarchy, we need to re-socialize each other, more especially bantwana bethu, to understand we're good because you are a male or because you're a female or you identify yourself within any category. You need to understand we're good. You need to work as a team player. And also, out of the shortcomings of patriarchy, maybe let me talk about one positive within the socialization of besifazane. They are socialized to take care of a house. And that is so much important. And they are socialized to take care of children. That's so much important. You know, learn kumcoka ukuthi even naboy child ati ukuthi unakela njani umfana. Ungeke utikhanze kwekuthi sewunemntwana all over the country because you will fully understand what goes into raising a child. We would never be having bobabe labanganaki bantfa babo labapheka uganishwa kuze bona bondle bantfa babo because batawukhumbula everybody utawukhumbula mangabe ati kwekuthi umntwana ukhuliswa njani, what goes into taking care of a child. Kusho ukuthi ngeke uthi mangabe lo mntwana alele so ehamba uyodlala wena usuyamkhohlwa. Uma ngabe if men were able to understand that, bengeke sikhanze ukuthi umuntu wamunye unebantwana lonke lelive because they understand ukuthi every child needs my attention. Wonke umntwana needs my presence. So I need to make sure we're good, I'm present empilweni yakhe loyo mntwana. So because of the shortcoming of patriarchy, let's say that they don't need to know how to take care of a child. But the cancer one other thing, simply because they don't know how to take care of the house. Utawuhamba aye lapha efundzela kumbe uyohlala etertiary kumbe kuLimpopo sesengibekise ngeLimpopo engifunde khona. Suke lapho uyawuchasha lapha eCobonga. Mafika eCobonga akade ukuthi indlu ihlinwa njani. Utawulanza lo tamklinela indlu, amkhulelise. Amehlukane naye ngobe lona bayaklina indlu mane kupheke nakabonisi. Alanze lo phekayo. Mahlukana nalona sommithisile. Unemntwana lapho. Sewulanza lo munye manje lo siyafuna ukuthi amphekele. Uyammithisa naye. Uyehlula la so uthi lona akam'ayinele ayinomgedla kubhokhathi uze ucale lethu lapho kukhafaswa khona libhandi amsuse loyo alanze utawu ayina kahle ibhokhathi yakhe naye sonebantwana so uthi maphuma etertiary uphuma una 3 webantwana the end of the 3 webantwana bekabafuni so yaqala manje ufika emsebenzini it's patriarchy kuze ushade mawushade kahle as a male kumele ube uthole umuntu lo ongenamntwana mawuhlulekile abe nemntwana munye. Score lapho sithi 3 knots nobe 3-1. Ngabe sisho ukuthi umshado loyo usima? Angeke usima. So why? It's because of patriarchy. So now we've got dysfunctional families out of patriarchy. We've got an angry generation. Bantu labasha laba angry, labakhule with absent fathers. It's because of patriarchy. So what I'm trying to say is that patriarchy disadvantages both males and females. And also what we need to understand about patriarchy is that patriarchy is hegemonic. Patriarchy says there's a male and a female. It does not also cater for diversity, of which if ever you fall out of being a male or a female, then you cease to exist. That is also because of patriarchy. And the reason why I'm saying patriarchy disadvantages both males and females, you know, this has been so prevalent ngesikhathi se-COVID-19. COVID-19 ifike yasitshela kwekuthi kunemsebenzi le priority nalengesiyo i-priority. You can't say, I'll make an example in a setup with whereby Make is a nurse, babe ngitishela. Or nobe in any of the jobs le yathi makufika i-lockdown bahlale emakhaya but bangaholi ikakhulu. Let's think of such communities. Lapho it flipped the scales. Make nguye losonemali babe ude imali. Ka-patriarchy, it says that man is not a real man because within it's part of the patriarchal quality, patriarchal expectation on men to be able to provide. So if ever babe asaholi imali encane kunamake, then that affects the family, lobudlelwane la ekhaya. That is because of patriarchy, not because ubani bani unenhlitiyo lembe or what. And also because of patriarchy, kubese sekuba worse uma ngabe sekasebenza make babe angasasebenzi. Bese kuba khona into angatendi babe makaye. Akasaye ekhaya uthwala inhluka ekhaya. Hey, mbona ngithwala inhluka ekhaya nje sisi. Kude phela unesikhathi sonke. Akasasike nasikho seyasebhula. Musakhwebhula sinko sebantwana baba. Musahlohlisa wonke umshibo wenyanga. Ngihola kanye njengeligayiza mina. Siyawuhlohlisa wonke lo mshibo. Angiphathi ke ekamerweni. Makashaya uthi uyalula sandla umuntu omdala nobe uyalula phela ukuthi awu ngosamazana sifokotisane shaya sona lesandla. Kube akulekelelwa amagama. Babe kube kuthiwa la mandla wafaka mawulula sandla la kamerweni lo wafaka mayo lengephandle uyofuna umsebenzi ngabe sohole ngishokhona. Lo babe lo kuyavitsika konke lebese kuthi kubukile. Kusuka lapho kwentekani uthi khanza seyatibulala. It's for that reason even la kangwane tinombolo lesinato nje letike takhishwa tisitshela ukuthi out of 10 successful suicides 8 of them are men. Lokusho ukuthi laba 10 labakwatile ukutibulala inombolo yabo babe kulabo bantu labo bang 8. Why is it so? It's because of the frustration of patriarchy. They find themselves not being able to cater for the expectations or nobe lama dictates a patriarchy. Ngiconze kuthini ke ngalokho, comrades? Ngiconze ukuthi it is the duty for every human being, men included, ukuthi si dismantle this system of patriarchy because it does not benefit us. If ever we are to say this, asibeke ngalokhu sobala ukuthi sitawubenefita kakhulu ngekudismantlisha this system. Because now Comrade Pepet kunale issue yekuthi sinama hashtag lathi indoda must. Those hashtags asitshela ukuthi as a man you must do this, must do this. So if you don't must, it means you are not a real man. That's also another frustration in a light manner. So as isikhathi sami sesiphelile Pepet, bengitama lokuveta lokho ukuthi we need to dismantle the system of patriarchy because it presents everyone vulnerable. It does not accommodate the diversity that we are, and there are many factors that present us with this diversity. How then do we have these different diversities, even around the LGBTI communities in terms of their gender identities and socialization? That's a story for another day. But I wanted us to understand that patriarchy needs to be dealt with because it disadvantages everyone. Uma ngabe khona lokusele ngwethe utangithinza nawe moloyi mangabe kukhona imibuto ngingajabulela kuyithatha ngiyabonga.
Thank you so much, Mtunga, for the great presentation, and it was really informative. I for one, thank you so much. for such a presentation, leader. Ngicabanga ukuthi if mangathi khona longafunza something lana angabe uticambele manga kwa yena. Let me not consume isikhathi lesiningi. Let me try ukuthi on the Zoom site ngi-check ukuthi ngabe leaders are they willing to engage in noma kukhona ama-questions labanawo, and Comrade Moloi will direct me on the site ya Facebook ukuthi ngabe khona yini ama-questions la khona or any comments from him in particular or nabaholi labangale on the site. Can I give the floor kulaba ka-Zoom? If you are Zoom or you are in a WhatsApp call, I'm told ukuthi in a WhatsApp call le corner, you can simply raise a hand. Comrade President is handling that side, that one. You can simply open your mic that side. Comrade President will raise a hand, signate tuba to comment or ask any questions to facilitate ours and the house at large. Nathi ngala Zoom cela siphamise intandla if ukhona sifuna kusho or write in the comment section if ukhanza ukuthi usespacing lesingekho convenient for you to articulate something. The floor is yours, Baholi. Ngicela kubona ngetandla, then I will also engage Comrade Moloi on the side ukuthi kukhona yini labavelako from the Facebook side. Salute to leaders. Okay, thank you, leaders. In the absence, ngalaga Zoom, Comrade Moloi, is there anything leader you wanna ask or add? And nangala on your side. Oh, sorry, Comrade Moloi, is Comrade President. Where I see you, Comrade Commander. You can take over, my President.
Salute, Comrade Moderator, the Secretary of the YCU. Ngikubingelele Moli Nsambama angathi noma ngivakala kahle yini.
No, uvakala kahle kakhulu Mongameli, you can continue, leader.
Salute isla moderator of the day. Comrades kungaba kuvusela the facilitator Comrade Bongosi, ngivusele YCU executive yonkana, ngivusele nawo onke amaswati nemalunga la sijolile kulo mhlangano wanamuhla. I have something to submit here, but before ngicale, I would like to appreciate the comrade who was facilitating today for such a mouthful presentation. As honorary on the invitation, and also appreciate the Swaziland Democratic News for making this presentation live in lab. I just want to say something this on the issue of minorities. It may not be something new to many, but on the societies yale makhaya kufike kube into lensha lena nasifika sithi sikhuluma ngema-minorities, and it is common knowledge ukuthi i-change ivamise kuta with lot of uncertainty. So lokhu nje no kufike kube ngumbuto kimi, in fact le ngicabanga ukuthi nemaswati angaba nawo, angikho sure ukuthi batawukhona ukubuta, but ngicela bangalokuthi ndawubuta njalo. How can we make sure ukuthi vele emaswati are brought up to pace about the topic of minorities, and they are well capacitated enough about these groups. Njengoba sathi ukuthi as emaswati we are born and groomed to have this kind of stereotype mentality against such human groups. Lokunye lengafuna emphasize kukhona ku-comrade moderator, I mean facilitator of the day, is that there is a need for a further engagement with the organizations that are representing the minorities. So Comrade Bongosi asekagcini ku-engage nawe mholi namuhla, we still have engagements lista wenda maybe you can play a role in assisting in this regard, because we believe that it is on these deliberations that last khona uhlala phasi sikhulumisane kakhulu. Nawubuka lamagama lesikhuliseke ngawo sikhula from the younger age, na ungabuta nje ukuthi umuntu lo gay ngesiswati yini, leli gama le ungalibita nyalo la ungalikhanza liyihlamba and alikho much pleasant or acceptable to ase ulibita ulibhekisa emntwini, liba somehow offensive. Lokho-ke futhi sihambe sakubona khona la etinkundleni tekuxhumana lokuthi cha kuhambe kwasusa kukhuluma lokuthi lokwaba umsindvo lokhona. So it will be of great assistance lokuthi sihlale nabo phansi, ikakhulu laba bema-minorities, sitawoqamba lawo magama, siphume kulawo magama lokhanza ukuthi bona bawathatha offensive, thine sibe sichamuka nawo from le kukhuleni kwethu satshelwa ukuthi umuntu omduna lo gay isitabane. So nako lo lengifuna kukusho Mholi. Otherwise, thank you for the wonderful presentation, moderator. Thank you.
Thank you so much, the incumbent president of the YCU, Siyabonga kakhulu, my leader, for such good engagements. Nema questions liwaphosile to the facilitator. Let me give him an opportunity ukuthi aphendule. I believe Mholi uve konke. If there's anything la angayiva, he can just reflect. We are going to ask you Mholi ukuthi clarify, but for me ngicabanga ukuthi ngive konke. Let me give the opportunity to our facilitator ukuthi akhone ukusiphendulela lama questions. Thank you so much once again, Mholi, for my articulations akho. The YCU is under good and capable hands, Mholi. Siyabonga. You can take over, comrade, facilitator.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Comrade President. Thank you so much for my comments. Lo wendile. Uqinisile, this was just tips of the iceberg. Logo ngokuthi we need further engagement. I think we will need a further engagement where now we will get to understanding sibe specific la kubuka khona the LGBTI community, where now we'll be talking on the SOGI. Ukuthi kahle kahle, when you talk about gender identities, sexual orientation, gender expression, what exactly are we talking about? Because that conversation will help us to understand where good akusenje umuntu losuka ahlale phansi kwesihlahla athi yathi mina sengifuna ukuba nginaku ke manje. Yes, kukhona umuntu labatikhethelayo, but more than not, it's on the basis of the biological makeup of this particular individual, the issues of hormonal balance within this emtimbeni wakhe, bese kupresenta that form of identity or issues of orientation or his expression, ukuthi expressa njani. So if ever staff fika lapho khona understanda kahle lokho ukuthi kahle kahle kuhamba njani, will then get to appreciate ukuthi kahle kahle kude lekudzinga kwekuthi avume ukuthi bana phile noba angavumi, because sonke bekunene sincike ku-oxygen yaNkulunkulu. Akukho nje lona esikhiya selitsange le-oxygen kwekuthi uyavulela kokuthi bani ngoba wena awusiye kumbe le ndlela la yifunako yena sekumele sale ungasaphili nobe sekumele ukukhothame kuye. But we need to understand that we are all human beings and we've got equal capabilities ukuthi we can develop le live nobe singadevelophi the same way. Akusho ukuthi ngeke wadevelopa because so we identify in a certain way. And how then do we educate emaswati? This is one way lesingawafundisa ngayo lokho ukuthi, because le social media kungaya ku-community uye uyofundisa a number of group, you will be limited based on your resources lapho sithile ukuthi ubabite labo bantu lapho. but now social media, live Facebook. Akusho ukuthi igcina manje masiceda le live lena itawube sesiyalahleka le engagement. Itawuchubeka ihlala. Anyone lo interactor with Swaziland Democratic News, utayithola. Anyone who can lo isherile utaphinza futhi any viewers la kulelo page lelo now atakhona benefits. So that's how we can continue. And also akuqale kithi in different levels of leadership. We need to unlearn these harmful socialization, these harmful norms and beliefs. Legenda, some members of the society, but they can't, they're vulnerable. Once we unlearn, we allow ourselves to unlearn that, then that will make it possible for us to move forward in peace and harmony. Cishe ngagcina lapho ma.
Thank you so much, Mtungu. I believe, Comrade President, uphendulekile, my leader. Or you have any further questions or so sorted, Molo? Let's
No,
just
ngishapha.
continue. Okay. Thank you, leadership. Comrade Molo, ngibona ngasisandla kude on the Zoom side. No comments. Ngabe khona on your side, Comrade Molo, please direct me leader ukuthi ngabe khona in lokhu khona on your side, or you in particular lo ngafisa uveda.
Sibonga kakhulu siyabonga kakhulu. Mhlambe ngala ku Facebook nje babukele baholi baningi labe basulo balalele banathi constantly throughout. Labaningi bayadumisa nje kakhulu ukuthi cha ubabekele kahle bavile ubavule netingcondo. Kwase kuba ne-comment nje lebuya kuma news lethi patriarchy will be difficult to get rid of for as long as there is top to bottom. It uses patriarchy to remain in power. That was one of those comments la khona. Ngicabanga ukuthi mhlawumbe utawuphawula kuko lokho mhlawumbe nami sekungaba extenda umbuto kuleyo comment.
Comrade Molo, please, sorry leader, ukwalahleka kancane, I think there was a network on my side. Ngikuphindele le now because I think them hold abanenkinga ukuyiphendula. Khona ulahleka khona kancane le comment leader.
Oh yes, Manios befake i-comment la. Let's see, patriarchy will be difficult to get rid of as long as there is Tingudla system, because Tingudla is patriarchal from top to bottom. It uses patriarchy to remain in power. So then for me to extend to that, kube ngumbuto lokuthi i-patriarchy njengoba asayibekile umholi ukuthi into leqhamuka from kukhuliswa kwebantu lokusho ukuthi kuguquke lento kwaba i-culture because it has been done isikhathi leside nekuthi sikhuliseke ngayo lokuthi what would be the measures lesingawathatha to try and get rid of such, especially kulethi khathi lesesiphila kudo manje lokuthi njengoba eMaswati afuna idemocracy nje manje, does it really mean ukuthi nayo le democracy nalabo patriarchy konke lokho kusafuna kuqale phasi lento ifundziswe bantwana ebuncaneni babe bakhule nako lento ukuze batongenwa ngilomcondo ukuthi siphathane kahle nekwenta tinqumo letawena ukuthi siphile kahle eveni ngaphandle kwekuthi sibukelane phasi sinyathelane. Ngiyabonga.
Okay, leader, thank you so much, Comrade Moloi. I am told by the facilitator ukuthi akayiva kahle vele le comment. I think kube nenkinga lapho. Ngasi ikhulume ngenzayo ukuthi patriarchy ngeke ize iphele kusasene leadership le under Tingundla system of governance, and because Tingundla system of governance is in a patriarchy from top to bottom, yeah, from top to bottom, something like kanjalo nje leader. I think udayiva lapho because nathi besiva nje kancane ekugcineni. I think Comrade Facilitator will be able to tackle that one. Thank you, leader. Comrade Bongosi, my leader, the network leader is not
Molo.
well.
Thank you so much, Moloi.
Leadership network yakho Moli ayivakali kahle. Please try to get space lesingconyana leader. Are you still there, Molly? In the meantime, Comrade Moloi, please Molly, check other comments if they are there, Molly, on your side, so that Magabu Molly, I will be able to assist present my questions. About your network.
All right, unfortunately, we don't have much.
So ngangipa manje.
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah,
leader. I think we are good to go. Yeah, I think we are good to go,
Okay.
leader.
Thank you so much. Ngithanda kuvumelana nale comment. Lesho mayelana nakokuthi the system at the Tingundla system lesinato even la kangwane tenda kube lukhuni ku eradicator i-patriarchy. Ngivuma because any system that is not allowing the space for engagement, and also any system that is not informed, honestly informed by the masses, then it tends to present the mpilo yalabantu ukuthi babe vulnerable. And I also want to emphasize that, you know, we need to understand that when we talk about the patriarchal system, it does not only end at the governance system of a particular country, but it also talks to governance system at a family level. Who dictates what happens within the family setup? You know, even if maybe singachamuka nekusasa sithi it's a democratic state, but patriarchy will still thrive within those within that democratic system, multi-party system, on the basis that within the families in this particular society, there is still patriarchy. Who dictates the power? Even if nobe singathi bekusasa siyashintsha sithi okay sesingena ku-multi-party democracy, you'll find that maybe it can take living over so many years to have a women president or a president from any other identities other than being a man. That is how patriarchy is deeply rooted beyond the system of governance. within the family setup. You know, there was one comment Lendi wang senior speaker ngalelinye ilanga yathi, let us not only push democracy at country level and not push democracy in our own houses, in our closed doors, you know, in our own spaces, because impilo maybe is set up we are any society. It starts with an individual, from individual to interpersonal to community, ihambe iye ukuthi igcine ifika ku-national. So it starts with an individual. If we uproot patriarchy from an individual individual person side of things, then it would be easy to move to deal with patriarchy from the external factor side of things, because the governance machinery is driven by individuals. So if these individuals, they don't have patriarchal values, then there will be no patriarchal values within the government machinery. If ever there are patriarchal values from these individuals, then it will translate even on the bigger scale of the government machinery. So I fully agree with that. But on top of that, we need to get rid of patriarchy at individual level to household level. Singabi ngemadoda lathi shosho lengephandle ekutheni let's get rid of this oppressive system. Sibe in our own relationships we are oppressive. That is the best way of uprooting this system, is to deal with it even in our closed doors, in our own spaces, and get rid of patriarchy. Thank you. And also nakulokunye holy kwami esengigcina ngakho, why kube mcwa kangaka? Even la kangwane sine challenge bobabe labafika ku retirement age abahlali iminyaka leminyenti bapenshele bayafa, because basibabe bakha budlelwane nebantfu labasebenza nabo, they are absent etimpilweni temindeni yabo. Athi angapentshelwa sekumele ayohlala nebantfu labangamati lekhaya, le yena i-value yakhe lakhaya kube imali. Ma ungasalethi le mali, vele you will cease to exist etimpilweni talabo bantu. Sibo babe, let's be present etimpilweni temindeni yethu, and let's make our presence felt. Hayi ngale mali esiyilethako, ngale warmth lesiyilethako lakhaya, kuze kwekuthi noba ingasekho le mali, sichubeke sibe mcoko etimpilweni tabo. Ngiyabonga kakhulu.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, leader, for such an insightful presentation once again. Waphendula nathi bo aspiring aspiring father Ntonton siba motivated, and we understand ukuthi sifuna sibe kanjani going forward. Let me not waste sikhathi. Let me once again give Kumoloyi a compile on the site if good demo questions la khona. Nami on the site ngabe sengiyayithiwa ngiyayigcoba lezozo if kude lo vela on the site. Comrade Moloyi, angikunike emholo.
Sibonga kakhulu Top Dog, sibonga kakhulu nakubonga inkosi Dlangamandla. Thank you so much, my leader, for such a wonderful presentation. Emaswati ka Facebook ayakunqoma kakhulu umsebenzi owendle namhla ukuthi uwavule ingqondo ongenje avakalisa kubonga kakhulu konke lese nikukhulumile labaye bayacela ukuthi ungathi ingxoxo letifana natona leti ungasethi ngahlale tiba khona njalo njalo ngoba kuba fla lo mcondo nokuthi sekuningi lasebakufunzile nasebakutholile kuko lokhu lebekusulo ukukhulunywa lapha kulolu hlelo namhlanje kule political school. Top Dog, sibonga kakhulu neteam yakho kakhulu the presidency of the Swalimo YCU nonke nje lelikhona kule executive yethu then umseneni wendawo funone lamaswati ngoba le timfundiso etifana tinje ukaza sikuthi longathi ithola khona kodwa nase titholakala nje kamelula kaso kuyawuba inzuzo lenhle nalenkulu emaswatini onke. Mina ke nelibandla lonke lapha ka Democratic News nalababuya lapha ka Facebook sesithatha ukuthi sibonge sivalelise kimi baholi.
Thank you so much, Comrade Moloi. Comrade Facilitator, if there's anything to say, Molly, then I will hand over everything to Comrade President, where see you, Comrade Commander Ngwanyan, asivalelise umholi, asivalele. Comrade Facilitator, you can take over, my dear.
Thank you so much, Mholi wami, and thank you so much, Moloi. Uma ngabe sese live la Facebook ngasijabula ukuthi ngivale ngana statement sami nasi. Le ngifisa kube i-reflection kuwo wonke umuntu lokhona la. Kwekuthi uthi imagine nje ukuthi makusalanga la kusasa so opposite yale sex lo ngiyo wena. Yale sexual orientation lo ngiyo. And then you are to date and you date yourself. The kind of, if you're a man, the kind of man that you are, will you be happy to be in a relationship with such a man? Will you be happy to be in a relationship with a man lo vakati kahle ukuthi ujola nathi 10 lamanye abantu besifazane? And will you be happy ukuthi kunebufakazi ukuthi umuntu lona unprotected sex because somithisile ngephandle but abuye la kuwe athi ufuna kulala nawe without a condom? Will you be happy to be in such a relationship? Will you be happy to be in a relationship with a man, or two men who are in a relationship with the kind of girlfriend that you are? Uthi uma ngabe athi ude imali akutshele emehlweni ukuthi ungethuki mase ngibona sengichinile ungangibuthi ukuthi ngithathe ngoba ngisho ukuthi ngithathe kulabanye labanemali. Will you be happy to be in such a relationship with such a person? So if ever you cannot be happy, please change, because even your current partner is not happy about you. In so doing, we'll be creating a society that have more things that are positive to say about the people in their lives than the negative things. If ever you are a father today, imagine tomorrow you are a child. Mangathatha say you are a child, or you are a mother, you are a child of the mother or a father that you are to that particular child. Will you be happy to have a father or a mother like you? To have a father who does not the amount to 5,000, but will you be happy to have such a father? Will you be happy to have a father lona siphathi lekuthi yena makutshontsheke siphathi sakhe akhalele i-ID yakhe but umntwanakhe ude ngisho certificate, i-birth certificate? Will you be happy to have such a father? If not, please change, because if they are not happy about you. In so doing, we'll be creating a new generation. Yebantu labanna lokunyenti positive labangakusho ngebatali babo nangema-partners wabo than lesikushoko thina namuhla noba batali bethu lebebakusho bona ngema-partners abo. Ngiyabonga kakhulu baholi isikhathi leninikete sona. Ngiyethemba sitawuchubeka sibe nato tingxoxo efana naleti.
Thank you so much, Mtungo Suwela. Ngachubeka ngako. Siyabonga kakhulu Mholi for such an impactful session lesibe nayo namuhla. If it was for me, ngabe iyadlala nje toti ingaphumuli, but because of time, because of data, because of life, kuba njalo nje nesikhathi naso kanjalo, but it was beyond what umlo omncane lo langakusho. Siyabonga kakhulu, and I have gained way more than I anticipated. Ngicabanga ukuthi ngitiva nami motivated ukuthi nje go forward ngende tinto tebudvodza, because I know now what is expected of me. I know how to treat the opposite gender. Ngicabanga statement sakho mholi losibeke ekugcineni, it will remain, or it will give me indelible lesson yokuthi ngiyiphathe njani going forward, and make sure that I put the other person first before I put myself, because I understand even kule democratic space ukuthi whosoever khona la walethwa love ukuthi sithanza abantu, and you cannot say you love someone but you cannot think ucabangele loyo muntu lothi uyamthanda. Siyabonga kakhulu mholi. I guarantee you, leader, we are going to once again need you mholi utasifundisa more and more, because inengle vacuum amongst ourselves, inengle vacuum amongst the MDM at large lokhanza ukuthi iba khona due to leti nkinga leti lesinato as youth leti gcine tilidele kuwo lama troubles abo suicide, abo gender based violence and everything. So we desperately need my inputs on how to disrupt and to erupt and to destroy nje completely le system ye patriarchy, and nale kuti kugcilateke minority groups in our country, because we need Swaziland lo kahle lo phelele. Let me not consume much of sikhatsi. Let me give everything to Comrade President asivalele umholi, and this is the last time ngivela mina. Let me thank Amaswati laba part of the session, and let us hope ukuthi the Youth Command Unit Leadership Collective will organize more of sessions la kanjena. I want to appreciate the Swalimo Mother Body for granting us that opportunity ukuthi si ibe flexible, ukuthi singakhona ukuthi si gatherishe everything, sikhona nokuthi si interact with different people from external forces. Siyabonga kakhulu ku leadership ya Comrade President Kabzela and the NSC collective. Siyabonga leaders, and I kindly take Dinzambo to Comrade President. Siyanthanda Maswati. Thank you so much. Comrade President, take over, my leader. We'll close.
Amandla Nopala WYCU, who happens to be the moderator of the day. Siyabonga moli for kusiqhubeka kahle uhlelo namuhla. Bese ngibongile kubo baka Democratic News and the facilitator of the day. Today has been a success. Sifundzile kakhulu comrades. Lokukhona kakhulu lemphuma nako la ukuthi sinesayeya to lead by example, ikakhulu thina lesesikhona la lesitholile lesifundo sanamuhla. We have insayeya to lead by example to undoing the patriarchal order set forth by the society lesiphilkhulekile makhona. As a human rights activists, we have a huge role to play in the society as we fight and march to a new Swaziland. Let us free from the patriarchy. We are looking forward to logo sita Comrade Bongosi, and hoping our next class into available more. Sito khona kuqhubeka na itingqoqo tingaze tifike setikhanze sesilatile. Siyaye sithande lokuthi nasifundza letikolweni sibe into siyifunze ilakanyana ingaze ikhohlweke. Having said that, siyabonga maholo.
Thank you, Comrade President. I believe this is the end of the session. Thank you, Swaziland Democratic News. Thank you, media platforms like Sharishago, leaders from the MDM and Swalimo. The Blue Force, siyabonga kakhulu. It is where siyabonga baholi kakhulu. Sibonga bonke baholi lebebalalele. Amandla